Candles, fibs, crosses, EMAs. It's the tools of the day trade. Don't be a noob and trade on websites that don't give you BitBoy bonuses. Click the link in the description to get set up on Bybit or Femex and get an insane sign-up bonus for being part of the Bit Squad. Leverage trade responsibly, but do it the right way on Femex or Bybit. Bonus details in the links below.
BitBoy Crypto Morning Tea. Good morning, everybody. It's October 25th, 2021. My name is Matty B. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing, all the humble opinion of this piano. Zamboni, bringing the data. The FOMO index has dipped to 72 from yesterday's 73. Bitcoin dominance is at 45.6%. 24-hour volume is at 102 billion. And the overall market cap is 2.59 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, what an interesting weekend for Bitcoin. It looks like we really wanted to see Rodney Dangerfield's weekend matinee in the Adirondacks. In fact, the show was so overwhelmingly mediocre that we rented a cabin after and spent the weekend underneath him. Of course, I'm referring to the Rodney Dangerfield of moving averages, the 50. We even saw the 20 catch wind of the show. She came barreling down the boulevard looking for the heart of Saturday night and crossing the 50. The last time we saw the 20 cross the 50 was back in the end of September, when we were tripping the light fandango down at 40K. Now we spent a good month underneath Rodney, testing that support level until breaking back to the upside. So I'm hoping that doesn't play out, fractalaneously speaking, of course. Now over on the daily, we saw price action dip down to 59.5. Now we talked about this on Friday, so it should have been no big whoop when it happened, because we talked about it. We said 58.9, so let's consider ourselves $600 richer. After ringing the bell down there, the bulls woke up and blasted back with a hammer candle. It's a red hammer candle, which means it couldn't quite close the candle above the previous open. But let's not mince words on hammer candles. I mean, it's still a hammer candle, and that's a bullish candle, letting us know that the bulls were able to push the price back up and had more strength than the bears, who are probably full from eating dirty diapers out of the garbage cans all weekend long, which we also talked about. I'm Piano Matty B. Yes. You also talked about data-eyeing that curling MACD, and yes, you're right, it has crossed, which is not ideal, but I mean, it's a lagging indicator. So it's like watching sports highlights after you just watched the game. It's just telling us what we already know. Although it has formed some negative divergence in the past few days as price action made a higher high and the MACD went down, but zooming out to the previous week, we see that it's on par with price action making a lower high. So maybe she's a wash. And if she is a wash, then our next step will be 64.3. We'll try to loop our leg over that ledge and head back to all-time highs. I'm keeping my dad eye on that aggressive I am zombie legend 20 moving average that's getting a little too close for comfort. We don't want to start feeling the pull and straddling that 20, because that could slow our upward trajectory real proper like. Now, an interesting thing happened to me over on the weekend. And that is, I was inundated with DMs regarding my thoughts on Shiba. And no one has ever asked me my thoughts on Shiba, let alone go to the extent of DMing me on the gram or the twits. Don't get me wrong, you can slide into my DMs anytime you like. I might not respond to them, but you're still welcome to slide them in. Now, I've said before that I don't chart out other cryptos because they mostly behave as a function of the grand poobah Bitcoin. And as such, Bitcoin goes up, they go up. Bitcoin goes down, they go down. And until they divorce, and that day will come, Bitcoin is the financial catch-all, if it were, for the general sentiment of the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. Save for the outlier pumps out of nowhere, which can't really be predicted or seen in charts as they are somewhat market anomalies. But that being said, I do have some thoughts on Shiba, and I'd like to share them, if I may. When Shiba or any other meme coins, and I'm not using meme coin in a derogatory way, it's just what they are. When they pump, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic that investors are making potentially life-changing wealth, or at the very least, growing their portfolio. Every gain in the crypto market carries us to the evolutionary finish line faster. I'm also ecstatic because when I see a mountain of new investors on-ramp into crypto via Shiba or Doge, I know the probability of that mountain learning about Bitcoin or other smart contract protocols that can literally change the world goes up exponentially. So as such, Shiba Inu can literally change the world. Easy. And now I'd like to reiterate my feelings about the Shiba pump in the form of a movie trailer, if I may. In a world bound by top-down tyrannical governments and baking cartels of control comes one coin, and that one coin has one chance to save the world. Academy Award winner Ben Armstrong, Golden Globe nominee Nikki Diamonds DeMonte, based on the best-selling novel by John Grisham, Shiba, be thy name. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected lead. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. BitBoy Crypto